All right, well, Spygate is real, at least according to special counsel John Durham's latest court filing. Durham's investigation examining the origins of Crossfire Hurricane, the investigation turning over stones inside Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. The latest reports, Bianca, involve allegations that Clinton's campaign spied on the Trump campaign, the transition, and maybe even on President Trump while he was in office.
Not surprisingly, of course, though, John, to us here at Newsmax, this story is being mostly ignored by the legacy media. A Washington Times review of major media websites found no mention of Durham's latest bombshell revelations by the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, or CBS.
Now, we also want to make sure everyone has seen this poll. There's actually a lot of Democrats who want to see Hillary Clinton investigated for this. Clinton and the Democrats, the legacy media, all peddled the Trump-Russia collusion lie for years. Pulitzer Prizes were awarded for said coverage, and when President Trump tried to bring up Spygate or that he was being spied on, he was immediately silenced. And here is one of the most egregious examples.
So the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
Well, there's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. No. It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
Well, this is 60 Minutes, Bianca. We can't put on things we can't verify. It wasn't much longer after this as we saw, a couple months, we saw the whole Ron DeSantis pay-for-play accusations by 60 Minutes. They do this all the time. I mean, it does happen. 60 Minutes is not above reproach when it comes to this. And, there are several other examples as well. If you brought this up at the time, I can remember even Trey Gowdy, who was the ranking member, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee.
Yeah.
He dismissed these reports. Spygate didn't really happen. But, Durham was that kind of guy that was left behind by William Barr to look into this stuff. And drip, 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 Bianca, it just keeps coming out. We learn more and more every day.
And, that 60 Minutes, kind of facade, let's stand behind who we are and sort of put up this blockade. It's not aging well as we play that soundbite now in this era. And, John, it's not that they didn't pick it up one day. They didn't pick it up on Sunday or Monday. We're now into Tuesday. So this isn't just radio silence. It really is clear media bias. And I think the push for these reporters who reported it to give back some of their awards is something we're going to hear about for a little bit longer.
All right, let's welcome in now host of the Trish Regan Show and editor-in-chief of TrishIntel.com. Trish, great to see you as always.
Good to see you, John. Good to see you, Bianca.
Now, I try to remind people when you talk about this, as hard as it is to do, take Donald Trump's name out of it. And imagine if this were any other political candidate where their opponent was spying on them or doing whatever it is. I'm not going to go as far to say it's illegal yet. We don't know about that, but there have been some indictments filed in relation to John Durham's investigation. But how do you see this, Trish, especially when it comes to the culpability from the media? First, in ignoring this stuff and squashing it, and now ignoring it a second time.
Yeah, it's par for the course for the media, but still, it gets to you, right? Because look, I'm a journalist, and to me, this is a story. How can you not report on this? This is actually a really, really serious allegation here. I mean, the idea that one campaign is spying on another. There are now allegations that that spying continued when the Trump campaign had relocated to the White House and when he was president. And to me, that's kind of a big deal. Let's not forget that our country became so engrossed in this scandal that really was no scandal, right? For well over 3 years, all we heard about was Russia, 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 Russia.
Right.
And the reason for that was because it was very deliberately manipulated and leaked, and you had the Clinton campaign that was effectively in bed with so many members of the mainstream media basically feeding this narrative out, and the media bought it, which was crazy to me. I remember at the time, I had seen the dossier, and I'm like, this is not reading like a piece of intelligence. This is reading like a supermarket tabloid, right? And you could tell there were certain biases in there. And then the idea that the thing got published and then everybody ran with it. And I'm like, has anybody checked their sources here? I mean, I don't go with the story unless I get a few sources on record, right, actually checking it. They ran with it. Think about that, John. And not only did they run with it, then the FBI ran with it. The FBI didn't check their sources before getting the FISA warrant. So it really is a travesty. It occupied our nation unnecessarily for years. It undermined anything that the Trump administration was trying to do, and there's no consequences.